All right, thank you for staying with us. Let me come back to you to continue from where we stopped.
So I was saying that the GDP numbers that have been released, those are macro numbers, and they're fine for macro level things. But if you want to look at what impacts the ordinary man on a micro level, then you begin to look at the CPI, the inflation trends. And if you look at the inflation numbers that we had, food inflation is still extremely high. And that is what hits the ordinary man's pocket the most. So, considering the fact that that is still there, it will take a long time before the ordinary man can start saying, hey, I'm feeling anything positive right now. It will take a long time. Inflation is still there, so prices will still keep going up. It just means that the rate at which they're going up would have reduced a bit, but prices are still going up. Cost of living has increased. It's not decreasing in any way, and it's not decreasing at a rate that the common man can keep up with. Somebody in Nigeria that maybe last year was middle income, middle class, you've probably moved to low income, struggling class now, because your income hasn't gone up, but your cost of living has gone up significantly. What is your disposable income has totally shrunk, and you're essentially surviving. This is not going to change any of that. In fact, it's going to get tougher.
So what positives can we take from this, and what should we be looking out for in the next quarter of the year?
Number one, the perception among businesses is that, oh, the economy is getting interesting, let's start investing, which is good. I don't have to lose my job in the interim, in the expectation that government will continue to do what they need to do to make sure that everything stabilizes. Then the second thing there is that price of goods and services may not continue to rise because inventory level is also building. So typically, just like you mentioned, the price of goods and services may begin to flatten out. Not necessarily, I'm not saying that the price of goods and services will reduce. What I'm saying is that the rate at which they are growing will most likely moderate, maybe to the region of about 15 to 14%, which is okay, which is fully flat. Then moving over into other issues around fiscal refi. I mean, there's a problem within the Nigerian economy that even the revenue projections of governments, what business are anticipating, will they even come to pass? That's a big issue. For us, we think clearly that the economy in the next 2 quarters will most likely be playing along the way it's playing. If we don't slide back to recession, we have a very minimal growth. And minimal growth in Nigerian context is anything below 4%. If the economy goes above 4%, then definitely everybody can jump where, things are not happening back in the economy. But we don't think so. We don't think the economy is even going to grow above 2%. And that is until the economy begins to grow above 4% per annum on a quarterly basis. Now where we can, the people on the street can now begin to feel the impact. I think that's just a quick summary of what we see ahead.
If we can sustain this growth for a second quarter, then maybe the MPC will be willing to drop interest rates. Today, as it is, the government is crowding out. Companies need to invest. They're anticipating that there will be growth. They need to invest, stock up, do all of those things. But financing, the government is crowding out the ability of companies to borrow because of the high rate at which government is borrowing. So even all of the borrowing that is available, all of the money that is available in the industry to borrow is not flowing towards private hands. And because of that, there's not a lot of production yet that is going on. The government needs to step back from borrowing. We know that they need to finance and all of that. They should continue the roundabout way they've been doing it, spend again, and then the wheels of the economy can just begin to move again. Because if we don't do this, and the government keeps on stifling private access to funding and all of that, we're going to have a second round of inflation. I can guarantee you that we're going to have a second round of inflation, and it's not going to be it's not going to be as easy to get the financial system and the rest of the world, investors and all of that, to come and start investing in a country that's gone into double inflation, double recession type, double dip recession type these things. So it's important. It's really, really important. We know the government has not done a lot around bringing us out of this recession, but they can do a lot to prevent us from going into another recession. And that is what we need them to do now.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us on the program and sharing your thoughts. Well, we have to leave the conversation here. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. We begin this week's most viewed videos with actress Funke Akindele speaking about how piracy affects the Nigerian movie industry.
Piracy has been eating deep, into our content. We work so hard round the clock. At the end of the day, the products are being pirated. It's sad, We don't even cover the money of production. It's crazy. I see Jennifer's Diary out there on the streets. Even the original copies we churned out for people to buy, they're not buying them because they're buying pirated copies.
Next in fourth is the report on the state of the Benin Ekoma Road.
I've left Auchi since for like 3 hours now. I'm in Irekpe now. I still have about 2 hours drive before I get to Benin. In fact, it's really terrible. I just pray that government should please come and fix this road. It's really very bad. We are suffering.
Third spot is taken by a special documentary on the activities of Boko Haram. The video of former Edo State Governor commenting on President Muhammadu Buhari's broadcast after he returned from a medical vacation in the UK takes the second spot.
For me, I'm relieved that the president is clear and I think he spoke the right language and employed the proper body language, namely that the unity of our country is not a matter to be negotiated.
While in first place is the meeting between leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and Igbo leaders.
I will not do anything that will bring dishonor or shame to our people. I never do it.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Now, despite the official announcement that Nigeria is out of recession, it seems the success is just the beginning of the process to restoring Nigeria's economy to where it once was. Nigerians will be hoping that the government will not drop the ball until the ordinary man on the street feels the impact of exiting recession. And on that note, we draw the curtains on this edition of the program, but continue online via the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias.